August 3, 2005, the global spotlight was fixed on Saudi Arabia, where world leaders had gathered for the funeral of King Fahd. Among them was Mauritanian President Maaouya Ould Sid'Ahmed Taya, who had ruled his West African nation with an iron fist for over 2 decades. But thousands of miles away in the capital city of Nouakchott, the ground beneath his regime was completely shifting. Taking advantage of the president's absence, the Mauritanian military moved swiftly and silently. Armored vehicles blockaded the presidential palace, state radio and television stations were seized, and the international airport was closed. It was a textbook military coup, executed with such precision that not a single shot was fired. As news of the Bloodless takeover spread, a strange calm settled over the capital. Citizens woke up to find soldiers patrolling the streets, not in anger, but in complete control. President Taya, landing in Niger on his way back from the funeral, suddenly found himself a leader without a country. This stunning turn of events served as a stark, startling reminder of the extreme fragility of power in a nation long trapped in a cycle of political unrest, and it marked the beginning of a complex social and political transition. Why this sudden shift in power occurred, we must examine the deep-seated factors and long-standing discontent that led to the coup. President Taya had himself come to power through a military coup back in 1984. Over the next 21 years, his administration became increasingly autocratic, marked by heavy-handed political marginalization of opposition voices, ethnic tensions, and widespread economic mismanagement. Despite Mauritania's vast natural wealth, including rich fishing grounds and massive iron ore reserves, the vast majority of the population remained trapped in deep poverty. Frustration boiled over as the regime cracked down on dissent, leading to multiple failed coup attempts in the years leading up to 2005. The political environment had become a pressure cooker. When the Military Council for Justice and Democracy, led by Ould Mohammed Wal, announced that they had taken control, they did not frame it as a dictatorship. Instead, the military leaders claimed they were intervening directly to put an end to an oppressive totalitarian regime. They publicly promised to open the political playing field and establish a genuine, transparent transition to democracy, arguing that the coup was the only viable way to rescue the nation from total political stagnation. Historically, military coups across the African continent often resulted in long-lasting military dictatorships. However, the 2005 Mauritanian coup began to trace a significantly different path. The Military Council surprised both domestic citizens and international observers by actively promising a rapid and unconditional return to civilian rule. Unlike many regional junta leaders who sought to hold on to power indefinitely, the military leaders of Mauritania made a historic declaration. No member of the transitional military government would be allowed to run in the upcoming democratic elections. This crucial decision lent immense credibility to their promise of a neutral caretaker government. Over the next 2 years, the Transitional Council worked to restructure the political system. They organized a constitutional referendum that limited future presidents to 2 terms in office, a direct response to the decades of single-leader rule they had just overthrown. Under strict international monitoring from global organizations, Mauritania successfully held free, fair, and peaceful multi-party legislative and presidential elections in 2007. The process culminated in the peaceful handoff of power to a democratically elected civilian president, turning the 2005 intervention into a rare and fascinating case study of a military coup that actually paved the way for constitutional order. The 2005 Mauritanian coup stands as a highly unique and compelling modern study in political upheaval, regime vulnerability, and the ongoing quest for legitimate, representative government. It demonstrated that even the most deeply entrenched autocracies can dissolve in a single afternoon when the military decides that change is overdue. More importantly, it challenged the traditional global narratives surrounding military interventions by demonstrating that, under specific conditions, a coup can be used as a tool to dismantle tyranny and kickstart democratic reform. However, the long-term stability of nations undergoing such abrupt transitions remains an open question, as Mauritania's own subsequent history would show that the path to permanent democracy is rarely a straight line. Looking back at this pivotal moment in modern African history, how do you assess the complex role of military interventions in states that are actively undergoing political transition? Can a military ever truly serve as a trustworthy guardian of democratic transition? Or do such interventions inherently risk undermining the long-term rule of law and institutional stability?
We want to hear your perspective on this fascinating historical event. Please share your thoughts, insights, and analysis in the comments section below. If you found this detailed exploration of Mauritania's political history valuable, please hit the like button, share this video with fellow history buffs, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll join us for many more deep dives into the powerful stories, hidden shifts of power, and crucial decisions that have shaped our modern world. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next chapter of history.